we are having now is a very big opportunity that if you really understand what blockchain is, you will never become poor in your life again. Astaghfirullah, I am a Muslim. What we are supposed to talk, we know that the Almighty Allah is the one that enriches, isn't it? But He provides us with resources. And those resources, we are supposed to make use of it, isn't it? Rain falls, isn't it? There are arable land everywhere. If you don't go to the farm to plant, if you don't plant cassava, plant rice, will you have food to eat? So also other systems. Technology came. Technology came as a blessing to ordinary people. You know, technology has been there, as in internet has been there before the adventure of blockchain, isn't it? Blockchain started in 2008 by programmers, ordinary programmers. And they were just writing programs to say, the word power, this IMF of a thing, these people that has plunged us into debt, these people that they have held themselves together that if a country is not listening to what they say or what they want, they will gather together and go to that country and destroy the country. Most especially Islamic states. I don't know, maybe you have seen currently the video of Netanyahu, the president of Israel, what he said about African Muslims, which is me and you, that we don't have the capacity, we don't have the power. I have the video. I wish this thing can play because I came here because of Imam. The day I came to this mosque to pray first, I searched about him. I started asking, who is this Imam? So I've seen him on television, NTA, and I believe he's part of the government because he's using NTA. So they are part of, are you getting it now? But when I discovered he has done this, he has done this, this is what I want to be part of. Okay? So, and I wrote a proposal in May this year to say that I've been in this system for the past 10 years. I've seen up and down. I've traveled to more than 15 countries in the world, going to learn, search, and at the same time, trying to build a community. You see one pastor that just celebrated his birthday. Everything is spent in that birthday. People, to the extent that somebody in his congregation do have that confidence to buy him a Rolls Royce. Do you know how much a Rolls Royce is? Do you know how much is it? They bought two, not just one. People like me and you, what's wrong with us? Are they stealing? Are they part of people that are laundering? Of course, you don't have the proof, and you cannot prove that. So you can't say it. But that's just the way. What I'm saying now is, I wish this thing can talk so that we take it up from here, because you are here today, and then just like in 2014, I pay to be in a class. I pay 100,000 naira. I pay for myself and I pay for my daughter. 100,000 naira to be in a class just like this, to teach us the dynamics of blockchain. And then for complete 3 months, we were going to that class. And the people that were teaching, they were just reading and teaching. They were not practically sound. They did not go into it. We are Muslims. The Quran says, it is you that will bend to the rule of Islam. It's not Islam that will bend to your rule, isn't it? So if you cannot bend to the rules of Islam, you can never be a Muslim. There's no perfect human being that you cannot do to a certain extent what you ought to have been doing. Am I lying? True. Now, blockchain too has rules and it has dynamics. When I started, we started with Web 1. Let me give you an example of Web 1. I don't know, in short, your age is now maybe 25. Who is the older here? Who is the eldest here? 25, Abi? Sorry. Are you part of us? You still go out now. But you can just be with us. So we have one dictionary when I was in school. That dictionary, the only thing is you read and they give you the meaning. There is no any other explanation, isn't it? Oxford Dictionary or so. There is nothing. It's just the word and the meaning. Then immediately you read the word and you read the meaning, you believe you are educated, you believe you know something. Whereas there are other meanings to that meaning. That is the example of Web 1 in blockchain. And I was there in that system. Binance has not come that time. That should be in 2014. Binance Exchange came up in 2017. And when Binance Chain came up, they did what they call airdrop. Airdrop is an incentive given to people who participated in one or two things. Participated in either somebody send you a link and you register with that link and your exchange will come up. So I was part of that system that time and I got 1,000 pieces of Binance. Who knows the amount of Binance today? Who knows how much Binance was today? Pardon? Eh? You say? Sorry, I prefer to hope you have a cleaner here. Okay. I need to clean. When BNB came for the first time, are you seeing from there? Just please shift it here. I want us to be in one spirit because I will soon leave the stage. I just have about 30 minutes. I was not officially invited. I just came on, I wrote a proposal in May to do something like this, but because of busy schedule, it doesn't happen. And I understand it. I've been a lone ranger in this system. The year crypto shake, I'm that crypto shake. I've gone to Dubai, I've gone to Qatar, I've gone to several countries to at least enlighten, inform Muslims. But before you achieve something in life, there are certain prices you need to pay. I think I paid price for 10 years. I'm above 50 now, and I'm ready to give support to others who are coming. Because when I joined the system in 2014, I came in with 1.5 million naira. And when I came in with 1.5 million naira, my 1.5 million naira dropped to 1.2 million naira. Why? Because the person that was training me then, that collected 100,000 naira from me then, actually knows that the Bitcoin will drop. I told you I've experienced about 3 bull runs. The first one I experienced was in 2012. I was not there when the bull run started. So by 2014, what's happening? The coin is coming down. And that was the time I started saying, I want to learn. I want to know. Because I'm tired of the status quo. I'm tired of what? The status quo. The status quo of Nigeria that we are now selling petrol 1,030 naira from NNPC. Outside NNPC, 1,100. It's a status quo. And I don't think it's only God that can change it. But I now told myself, will I be a pauper? Will I be begging people? No. God, show me what I need to do in order not to be begging people. And I discovered blockchain. And ever since then, it has never been. Are you getting it now? So now, can we hear what this thing is saying? Anyway, let me just stop it and I've just established this morning that mining, what we call mining, is first done by who? Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Mining first took place, and the first person that did mining after movement from the old style of, when you go to evolution of money, there is no time. I just want to cut and go. When you go to evolution of money, it's trade by barter. Do you know that? You know that there is nothing like naira, dollar in the BCs. They trade. If you have a goat, you bring it, I'll give you my own yam. If we have yam, you give me your own rice. That's how it is. Until an emperor now sit and say, how can these people that are not in my status, how can they be sharing something with me? Okay, my signature alone can become money. And that's how the signature become coin. From cowrie, then it changes to coin. And from coin, we have card, isn't it? But that's not what I want to talk about. I just want to establish that the first person that mined coin from the normal coin that we have is who? Prophet Muhammad. And this video says it all. I can release it to several people so that the audio is coming up. So that when you are somewhere, because I've had many antagonists in so many places. They tell you, you say you're a Muslim, you say you went to Arabic school, you say, I'm an imam of a central mosque. And central mosque is in Ibadan. Apata, for instance, Jumat Mosque. But I studied computer science. I went to Arabic school for good 12 years. So it's not about, I just run inside. No, I started like a boy, you know. So that is just it. Complete Muslim, not just a asawa. Are you getting me now? Maybe this have to off. From the first century. Yes, start from the beginning, please. Please listen, because I'll ask questions after the video.
Historically, contemporarily, with the main individual that you guys have seen in this corner. Finally, Jazakallahu khair for joining us on this amazing episode that's going to take us on a journey.
Absolutely.
A very special journey. There's certain connections and certain points that I think will be very beneficial for your iman, for your faith, and also in terms of if some of you want to pursue this in further studying as well. So Ustad has studied a master. You got a master's in history.
Yes.
Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Anything that you specialized in?
Yes, medieval history. And Islamic history, yes. My dissertation was on the history.
SubhanAllah.
Yes.
Salahuddin and
Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi. And actually, I studied Richard the Coward and some of the deeds he did in the Middle East. That's another history. We can talk about it another time.
I mean, history is a bit boring. I mean, why and how is it something that's motivated you, and why should we bother just staying on the video? Like, why?
History is very, very interesting. It's very powerful. In particular, for the Muslims, history is everything. Our entire religion, our deen, is based upon history. Okay? The Quran tells us the history of prophets. The prophets' history itself is a source of inspiration for us. The Sunnah is history. The Sunnah means the way of the Prophet. The way of the Prophet is historic in nature. We have to study the history of the Prophet to follow him. So history is absolutely necessary for Muslims in particular.
Yes. And we're going to be dealing with silver coins, gold coins,
yes,
stuff that is valued at thousands of pounds, but because people are juhal, they're ignorant, they don't appreciate these manuscripts that you're going to be showing us today. So not only is it valuable in terms of it's actually, I mean, the stuff that
the intrinsic value. I mean, there is metal value,
yes,
for silver and gold, but then at the same time there is historic value, and that can run into thousands of pounds, sometimes even into millions of pounds, depending on what you have. And we're not looking at anything like that today. What we're going to see today is absolutely mind-blowing. Most Muslims are not aware of this history. They haven't been exposed to it before because they have no interest, unfortunately.
This tissue looks very nice. It has a very special design on it. Will we be serving something on here?
Absolutely. Or? So let me tell everyone why I have these gloves and why I'm going to put them on. There's not going to be any murder scene here. What is the history of Islamic coinage? how did the coins evolve? So what coins were the Prophet ﷺ and his companions using is the question now. And
Why? What's the point of knowing that? How is that going to be significant?
because dirham and dinar is very important in our history, in our theology. The term dirham has been used in the Quran. The term dinar and dirham both have been used in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. Why these coins are important, to put it in simple terms, we can know that these persons existed, their names are true, the chronology, the dating is correct, right? The calendar, for example, and the individuals who minted these coins, or the dynasties that minted these coins, or the names that can be found on these coins, give us a lot of history. If the silver quantity or the gold quantity in a given coin can show you how prosperous those people were. When gold quantity is pure, when silver quantity is pure, that means this was a very prosperous civilization. Yeah, exactly. Now let's get to the coins. Okay, the first coin we are looking at.
You know what I'm really interested in? These, what century are these hairs dated at?
Okay, these here are not supposed to be here. Okay.
Okay.
I think these are Musa's here. Okay. So the first coin we are looking at is from the time of the Prophet ﷺ. The dirham the Prophet would have used himself or his companions would have used. This is a dirham or dirham of the Persian Emperor Khusro II, who was a contemporary of the Prophet ﷺ. You can see his bust very clearly on the bust. The bust means his image or his basically likeness. Okay, so that's his image. This coin has been struck by a die. Okay, so the coin, the silver piece would be warmed for it to become soft, and then it would be placed in between two dies and it would be hammered. So this inscription would become part of the coin. So here you have the image of the emperor. You can see the beard, you can see the mustache, you can see the nose and the eyes and the throne. By the way, from these coins you get to know that the moon and the star are actually Sassanid symbols. The crescent and the star was actually introduced by the Ottomans. It's not an Islamic symbol. On the back of these coins, you had the fire altar in the middle and two attendants on the side. And then in the Persian, the ancient Persian Pahlavi text, you have the mint name and you have the year inscribed.
Okay, when you say mint was minted, for the people that don't know.
The city where the coin was struck.
Where it was made.
Yeah, it's called the mint. Okay. You know the Royal Mint?
The only mint I know is Tic Tacs.
Okay, not that mint. This mint means where the coins were made, where they were struck. So now moving on. So what is a dinar? What is a dinar at the time of the Prophet? Dinar was a gold coin, okay, which was minted by the Byzantines or the Romans. Okay, so the dirham was Persian, dinar was Roman. The Byzantines, the Romans called it solidus. The Muslims referred to it, or the Arabs referred to it as the dinar. And if you look at the Roman currency, the denomination denarius was a silver coin. But the Arabs used the term dinar to refer to a gold solidus, which is what you see in my hand right now, right? So you see the emperor here, holding a globe, holding that one of those round things with the cross on it, right? So this is a Byzantine solidus from the time of the Sahaba, from the time of Uthman bin Affan radiallahu anh. He was a contemporary. So this is the currency that was used as dinar by the Arabs and by early Muslims. Early Muslims, I mean the Prophet and his companions. You can see the cross there on steps, right? So we know from history, in the years 636 and 637 CE, the Muslims took much territory in Persia as well as Roman territory, Byzantine territory, Syria, current day Syria and parts of Egypt. So what did the Muslims do when they come in? Did they use the same currency? Initially, yes, they were using the same currency. Then what the Muslims did, early Muslims, the Sahaba, they were pragmatic about economic conditions of these lands. They didn't want to introduce something new that the people find it difficult to deal with, right? So instead of changing the currency straight away, the Muslims kept the same currency for a while, and later on, they started to mint the same coins, early Muslims, with Bismillah on them to denote that these are Islamic issues. These issues are not Persian, Sassanid issues. Rather, these issues are minted by Muslims. So you can see there, the coin looks very similar to the Persian Sassanid coin. Now, this one This one is a Persian Sassanid official issue. That one is a Muslim issue. How do we know that? You have Bismillah and Rabbi inscribed in the margins. So you have Bismillah in the name of Allah, Rabbi.
There's a moon and a star there.
Yeah, absolutely. So they kept, the Ottomans Ottomans introduced it later. Okay, it was not an Islamic symbol. The Ottomans, for some reason, used the crescent and the star as a symbol later on their flags and things like that, right? And then many countries adopted the symbol, and people think it's an Islamic symbol. It's not necessarily an Islamic symbol. The crescent and the star. Okay, so this one. No, that's why it's in a box.
And God is solidus. If it was liquidus, it would become gaseous.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, absolutely. So here we have an example of an early Islamic coin. When I say an early Islamic coin, it is proto-Islamic, on its way. The currency is on its way to become fully Islamic. It is not yet fully Islamic. So what were the fully Islamic coins after the coinage was fully, completely reformed? So Abdul Malik bin Marwan, the Umayyad Caliph, who ruled from, subhanAllah, what was his, from 65 Hijri to 86.
86.
Yeah, okay, Vishan is trying, he's trying his best. Abdul Malik bin Marwan was the Caliph for nearly 20 years, and he was using these gold Byzantine or Roman solidus to deal with the Romans. So Muslims were selling papyri from Egypt. The Romans were using it as paper. So what Muslims started to do, they started to put Islamic formulas on the papyri, and the Romans are not.
Papyri, for the people that don't know.
So papyri is a plant that grows on River Nile, okay, and they used it to make paper. What Muslims started to do, the letterhead, they started to put the letterhead as Muhammad Rasulullah.
Papyrus like comes from a type of flower, yeah.
It's like a weed that grows on River Nile, okay. Not that weed, okay, not that weed. The Muslims started to sell this papyri to Byzantines, and they were putting Islamic formulas on the paper. The Byzantines were not happy. So the emperor threatened Abdul Malik bin Marwan that if you will not stop putting Islamic formulas on this paper you send us, we will start putting insults on our solidus, the coins we send you in return for these papers. Wow. So therefore, stop this, or we're going to start putting insults against your prophet on our coinage. So Abdul Malik bin Marwan realized that we can no longer rely on Roman currency. Okay, so we have to now start thinking of initiating our own Islamic currency. That's when he was advised, according to some reports, by Hajjaj bin Yusuf or Yazid bin Muawiyah. And this is one of the earliest Islamic coins on my hand from that reformed coinage issued by Abdul Malik bin Marwan. One second. Musa needs to be solidus, man. Basically, this is the second year when these dinars were minted by Abdul Malik bin Marwan. So the first dinar was minted in 77. This is from the next year, from 78, and the date is actually inscribed on the coin. So Bismillah, it reads Bismillah, Doreba Hazad Dinar Fi Sana Aman wa Sabain. Okay, in the name of Allah, this dinar was struck in the year 78. Then in the middle you see Allahu Ahad, Allahu Samad, Lam Yalid wa Lam Yulad. Surah Ikhlas from the 1st century of Islam on the coinage of the Muslims. The Byzantine solidus became the dinar, the Islamic dinar. So when we look at the other side now, the obverse side of the coin, it has La in the middle now, La ilaha illallah. Wahdahu la sharika lah. The Islamic creed. If you go anti-clockwise again, it says Muhammad Rasulullah arsalahu bil huda wa din al-haq liyudhhira wa ad-din kulli. Why were they using these specific formulas? Why Surah Ikhlas? Why La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah? Scholars actually assert that because the solidus had Christian formulas on it, there was a cross carried by the emperor, very Christian imagery was on solidus. So to counter that, Abdul Malik bin Marwan and his advisors, they came up with this idea to condemn the shirk of Trinity, the shirk of the Trinity, to condemn or to criticize or to counter it. We will put Tawheed, we will put the oneness of Allah on the early Islamic coins. So this is now a silver dirham, again minted by Abdul Malik bin Marwan. So Abdul Malik bin Marwan replaced the Sassanid dram or dirham with the Islamic dirham, which was slightly less in weight, okay, again with Islamic formulas. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika la in the middle. Then we have Bismillah, Toriba hadha dirham bil Basra fi sana ihda wa tamanin. In the name of Allah, this dirham was minted in Basra in the year 81 Hijri. In the year 81 Hijri. So this is a very early Islamic silver dirham. On the other side, you have similarly Allahu Ahad, Allahu Samad, Lam Yalid wa Lam Yulad wa Lam Yakun Lahu Kufuwan Ahad. Again, the same verse from Surah Tawbah, Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu bil Huda wa Din al-Haq liyuzhira wa ad-din kulli wa law kariha al-mushrikun. Okay, so it's there. And then in copper, we had the false or fils. It looks false. No, it looks real. It's not false. Okay, it's a very simple coin because it's copper, so it was the lowest denomination. So the lowest denomination was false or fils, and then the one above that was silver dirham, and the one above that was the gold dinar, as you have seen, right? So what does it say here? La ilaha illallah wahda. Okay, so this is again Aqidah. On the other side, we have Muhammad Rasulullah. Muhammad Rasulullah. So this coin is again an Umayyad coin from the 1st century. So the Aqidah of the Muslims is well established by the mid, not that it wasn't established earlier. I'm talking about when we can see physical evidence of the Muslim belief on objects like coins. We have manuscripts of the Quran from the 1st century. We have inscriptions on rocks near the city of Mecca where entire surahs have been inscribed by the companions of the Prophet ﷺ. So when we talk about physical evidence of Islamic creed, Islamic belief, we have plenty of evidence from the mid-1st century of Islam, the first 50 years, right? So, of course, we have traces going back to the Prophet ﷺ, the hadith, the isnad, the chain of hadith that goes back to the Prophet ﷺ. But the physical evidence we have from nearly 50 Hijri onwards, we have plenty of physical evidence. So even when you are using currency, you are being reminded that you have to earn halal. You have to keep in mind that this is noble currency with Allah's name on it. You cannot use it for any wrongdoing. You cannot cheat people. You cannot lie on this currency. So this is like a reminder for the Muslims as well. Not only a response to disbelievers, but even a reminder to the Muslims that you must use this currency correctly because it belongs to Allah. It's an amana in your hand, and be reminded always that Allah is the one who is the real owner of this wealth, not you. You are simply carriers, guardians of this currency.
And yeah, so inshallah we can follow your channel.
Inshallah, absolutely.
What's your channel called?
Adnan Rashid.
Adnan Rashid. Yes. So inshallah subscribe. Don't subscribe to
Dishan.
yeah,
Smile to Jannah.
your content's on there as well now.
Yes. So I will have to praise it.
Okay. I was going around. He was whoever pays education, those people do what? They pay attention. Those that does not pay, they do what? Value of a thing is not known. Abuse is what? Inevitable. Abuse is what? I'm here today of Allah. Show you a slide. To sit in my class like this. I have not dropped $100. You can't enter my class. It's funny though. That is the fact. In 11 years. So that is immaterial now. First and foremost, thank the CEO, Amir, the Mufti, AL-HABIBIYYAH. This is taking place. Because I cannot count. So many churches have entered. Train, coach. And count a place like this that I've seen Muslims sit like this and discuss about blockchain. Maybe my office, somewhere in my house, somewhere in Musetu, or 2 years. Sit like this. Thank you, Brother. Thank you, Haji. And I say thank you for everybody that is involved in making this a reality. Therefore, you, Church of Islam, tomorrow, at 50 plus. 50 plus. Here we have to live more, maybe if I live 40 more, I've done enough. But it's just 63. Where do you want to see yourself in the next 5 years? You want to be like some people who cannot talk in case of oppression? Because there are three major things that will make a man not to have a voice. 3 major things. Now, 1, have adequate knowledge, not have a voice. Here, intellectuals are talking. Here, they are discussing issues. You won't know what to say. Therefore, you just be supportive. You will not be able to come out and talk. I've spoken before anybody as far as blockchain is concerned. And I've always affirmed that in the coming years, all of you come and be buying Bitcoin at 350,000 naira per one. 350 million naira per one. Today, Bitcoin is around 90 million naira per one. In 2011, Bitcoin is just 1 naira. Where were you? Where was I? Now you have passport. You have to pay through passport. Now you have several payments. You have to pay through it. And they accept Bitcoin, isn't it? They accept Ethereum, isn't it? There's nothing you do because it has come to stay. So what will make you not to have a voice in is to lack education. Once you lack normal knowledge of what to do, how to swim, because the Quran itself said, nothing. Go and know that this life we are living is what? A grant for what? Play. Amusement. That's why you see musicians making money. You see comedian. You see content creators. Isn't it? So you lose money there because the money you want to make is another person's hand. It's a decentralized system. Here, nobody has the money. Everybody has the money. That is why it's decentralized. So please, make use of this time. In the next 3-4 years, even if this baby judge you are able to have 1 trillion baby judge in 2020 is $10. 1 trillion baby doll as I speak to you today is about $4,000. Finance 8 years ago, it was 30 cents. How much is dollar per? About 1.
So I suggested to some of the European countries a simple partnership. We form consortiums to deal with individual countries, help them with their economy, help them with their security. The Islamist movements in Africa are not yet strong. They can be defeated today. They can be defeated today. It'll be a lot harder tomorrow.
Am I lying? He's talking to you. He said, we are not strong yet. Are we strong? Education, good funds. Because if you have education, you don't have funds, you waste the money. That's why the children of so people, at the end of the day, when their father dies, they go ahead and sell. May he be well with him and his team and everybody that is involved. And the last but not the least is your resources. And this resources have to do with your network. Network. People whom you are connected to. People whom you have done what? I don't want to room. There's an area in the Quran. Had it not been that we want to achieve so thing, I've forgotten the thing now. I wouldn't have been in this environment. And go to environment of smokers. And go to environment of 30 people. In order for you to change them, not for you to become like them. So blockchain, when it is first introduced, it is introduced to take away superiority and inferiority complex. That is why one of the characteristics of blockchain is for it to be synonymous and anonymous. Once it is synonymous, nobody knows you. They just see your data. You can as well monitor it, but it cannot be edited. It cannot be manipulated. It cannot be changed because it's immutable. Okay? So, the first thing that Prophet did, and this one, Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and this one that this man is talking, is what is still pushing me to say I will come and be doing some things for free, as far as it is Islam. But as a professional, where you are not invited, you don't go there because you'll be mesmerized. Where you are not officially invited as a resource person, you'll be played down. People will just look at you, now. Are you getting that? But in this present generation, the only thing that is competition is collaborate. The only competition that is working is collaborate. You will see all these musicians, the likes of Gbogbo Wọn, they are becoming powerful because they are collaborating with people. If you refuse to collaborate, if you refuse to accept people, accept the young, accept the old, accept, in as much as they are not driving you out of your purpose, they are not driving you out of your goal, they are not making you to live your faith, listen and listen attentively. Now, let me take us to somewhere. In this place we are taking us to somewhere, I'll go there. After there, I'll just show you what you need to start with. Then I'll leave the stage. This is the typical psychology of blockchain markets. Like I said, I've witnessed two bulls. The bull run of 2021. In short, it started in October 2020. The halving happens in April 2020. And in 2017, when I got BNB 1,000 pieces for free, the person that gave